Hey friends, Christopher J.H. Jones here. I want to talk to you for a second about history, specifically history as regards Trinity Flynn and the Five Points Gang, which is a piece of historical mystery fiction. By historical, normally we mean that it's set in a particular time period where people have tried to get some of the details right. In Trinity Flynn, though, I went a step further. I wanted to set the mystery in the actual time place as closely as possible. It's tough to recreate 1920 even in the movies these days. The noises are different, the streets are different. New York City is a completely different town in 1920 than it is today. So it's a little tough for us to get a handle on exactly what it was like, although I did as much research as I could do in order to come up with that kind of atmosphere. But I wanted something more. What I wanted to do with Trinity Flynn is I wanted to recreate an actual crime. The entire series is based on the idea that there are crimes out there all the time that are interesting to know about and that we pay no attention to now in the 21st century. They happened 100 years ago. Why should they matter? One of those is the crime that forms the center of the book, which is the shooting of Monk Eastman at Union Square on Christmas night in 1920. But leading up to that, there are several other interesting things that happen in New York. One of them, the very first car bomb ever to be exploded. Yes, that's right, a car bomb. Specifically, the one that happened September 16, 1920, on Wall Street, as a matter of fact. Now, we tend to think of bombings in New York or any other city as being kind of a modern phenomenon. Not really. This wasn't exactly a car bomb in the sense that it wasn't actually an automobile. It was a cart pulled by a horse. The horse, of course, does not survive, but neither do 48 other people. 16th of September. What is it with September in New York? I don't, it's weird. 16th of September, 1920. A bomb blew up in front of the JP Morgan building on Wall Street, right in the middle of the lunchtime rush. It killed 48 people and injured hundreds more. And if you go to New York and go to the JP Morgan building on Wall Street, you can still see places where the nails and other shrapnel from the bomb embedded themselves in the building. That's an event that happens in the book. And Trinity is, like all of New York, scandalized by it and hopeful that they will catch whoever it is that did it. Unfortunately, even for Trinity Flynn, that proves to be impossible. We never do catch the murderer of the 16th of September. Various people have it put down to there was a guy who ran a newsletter in somewhere in upstate New York and who had forecasted on the 16th of September there would be some kind of serious terrorist attack. The man was arrested, of course, by the authorities and questioned forever. But as it turns out, he had predicted a whole lot of other things, and none of those things happened. So, more or less, they figured he just must have guessed right. Ultimately, they put it down to a gang of anarchists led by an Italian fellow who escapes to Naples. And he is never caught, dies there in Italy. It's one of those sort of unsolved crimes that I guess we'll never really get a handle on. There's a lot of things like that. And what I wanted to do with the Trinity Flynn series is put as much of that history in the book. So if you're looking for a rollicking yarn about a young lady who gets mixed up with gangs and anarchists and tries to unravel a true crime mystery, you're going to find that in Trinity Flynn. But all the way along, there's more history, more things going on, and all of the events that are described in the book, except for the few that happen to Trinity, which are too local and specific to her, all of the larger events, the baseball games, the names of the policemen, all of those things are true. They all come right out of the historical record, mostly off the pages of the New York Times. So if you're looking not just for a great story, but also for some great history and a look at what our country was like and one of our great cities was like 100 years ago, look no further than Trinity Flynn and the Five Points Gang. Pick yourself up a copy.